Yo, what is happening, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great day. I mean, look at the markets. Like, we can't really complain. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I didn't really capitalize on most of this move. Obviously, we're in that XRP long. But yeah, if you guys don't already know me, I'm Dylan. I do give you guys altcoin setups within the community. And yeah, I will be streaming on this channel twice a week from now. So I did stream the other day, yesterday actually, and then today I'm streaming today, and then next week I'll come up with a schedule, and then I'll share it in the Discord and the Telegram group so you guys can know, and you guys know that I only really look at altcoins as well. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing today, right? So we're literally going to be going over what actually happened in the market right now, because you can see it's kind of overwhelming, like what's happening right now. So we need to start looking at the market and seeing, what are these charts doing, right? What is happening right now? So I do appreciate you guys for joining today. If you guys do have any suggestions in terms of charts to look at, you guys can comment, and then yeah, we'll do like a bit of a Q&A at the end, especially for the people that want to go over that, right? So first things first, guys, I just want to quickly go over Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's absolutely ripping, right? So I know Devold and Andy probably already gone through this. I'll keep Bitcoin short. But essentially, guys, we got that breakout over there. That was literally the move, right? We were all looking at this, this could have broke down and it was consolidating sideways for a bit, but I mean that was the push, and yeah, we literally sitting at almost like 120k, which is absolutely insane, right? I didn't think we would get there so soon, personally, but that's the thing, right? I think a lot of retail, saw the market pumping and then they just try to get involved, right? So I think that's what's driving the price right now, potentially just retail FOMOing in. So I still I'm gonna show you USDT dominance just now, but I'm very wary right now. You don't understand. We have to be careful. Bitcoin's at pretty much no man's land, right? So what can we do? We can't really do much for Bitcoin in terms of we'll go in the lower time frames, but in terms of now, there's not really much we can do. We obviously are expecting a pullback in the next couple of days, but in terms of the daily time frame, there's just nothing really we can do. I mean, you can pull some fib extensions to see some targets, but what I want to wait for now is potentially the problem is we have to see some type of retracement, right? So I would wait for price to start coming back down to these zones, right? I want to see price start consolidating within these Fibonacci levels, and then we see a potential breakout, right? So that's something that I would wait for. The problem is shorting here is also very, very hard unless you get a SFP or something on the lower time frames, or a potential double top, which is something we can look at, or a trend line breakdown. So it's very difficult going long and short at this current price, and especially looking at USDT dominance, which is what we're going to discuss next, because I want to go over that before we go over the altcoins. But essentially, just looking at this chart right now, Bitcoin can still go higher. This is literally the 4-hour chart, right? If we look at the 1 hour time frame, you can see as well. I mean, everything's just it's just bullish, right? This was that push, bit of a triangle pattern over here, a bit of a trend line breakout. I mean, that was the move yesterday. It happened around about 6-7 p.m. last night. So yeah, this is what I would probably wait for, right? I need to see a range. You guys know my strategy by now. If you guys are following, it's more like a trend line breakout strategy in terms of I just wait for a range to be formed, and then I'll wait for breakouts. Obviously, I can look for a fair value gap, or an inverse gap, but those are more of my targets, right? But essentially, right now for me, I can't really do much for Bitcoin. There's just nothing really we can do here. I mean, obviously it's super nice that we're getting this pump, especially for our spot bags, for altcoins, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my spot bags have been bleeding super hard throughout this bull run, so it's quite nice that we did get a bit of a pump. I mean, it's not even that crazy, think about it, right? I mean, some coins M pumped 80% SCI, but this is still so small compared to the parabolic phase that altcoins could potentially have. So I want to speak about where we can go for the altcoins. I do apologize for the wind. It's actually very, very cold right now, and I'm outside, but because I can't go inside, as I've got some people cleaning and stuff. So for my next streams, I'm gonna have like a green screen and everything. So I'll have a better setup for next week. So yeah, don't worry about it. If it's a little bit annoying, just let me know and I can try maybe move or something. But I think it should be okay. But yeah, let's have a look. So Bitcoin, I mean, for now, if we look at the 15-minute time frame, there's not much to be seen here. I do want to see, like, for sells, like, I want to see price obviously break this low, potentially, right? So what I would like to see is, we break this low, that's your break of structure, right? And then we look for sells on the retracement, and then we could have something like this where price is just respecting that trend, and then eventually, if this does start to roll back up, we can look for a breakout of that trend. You know what I mean? So that's something that I would wait for Bitcoin. But generally, for me, like, you can't really do anything now. I mean, some people might see something different, but in terms of like what I'm looking at, I just don't really see much, right? If we look at the 5 minutes, there is this 5 minute upward, this 5 minute trend. You can see over here. I mean, that's something to look at as well, potentially. We do have a bit of it's just this upward sloping trend line over here. So, this is valid. But I wouldn't actually take the sell based on this trend line, because we are super bullish, right? And we're still holding these lows, right? So the problem is, if you took a sell on the break of this trend, you still have to get through this low over here. And it's not that strong, but you still have to get through it, right? So for me, I'd rather wait for price to break the low, retrace, and then we look for the sells, right? That's kind of how I do trade in terms of looking for confirmations first, right? So that's something that I would wait for. I wouldn't take the sell just based on this trend line. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, you can just take it based on that. But for me, I need to see, price needs to break these lows. It's just not valid for me. Okay. So for Bitcoin right now, just wait for that. That's probably what I'm going to wait for today. There's not much happening in terms of, obviously we can still go higher here. But yeah, for me, there's just nothing we can do here. I mean, look at this 5 minute candle over here. This is crazy. Like, this thing pumps. What is this? This thing pumped like literally 3% for Bitcoin. 3% move for Bitcoin is quite aggressive, right? Like, we can all agree. Like, Bitcoin moving 3% in 5 minutes shows a lot of interest in the market, right? A lot of people are coming back, or it's just institutions buying. And I know there's a lot of institutions buying. But the next coin I want to go over, and I will go over USDT dominance, but I really want to go over XRP, because this XRP. Literally, like, this thing's just been absolutely ripping. Like, have a look at this token. Like, it's gonna hit our first target. This we gave this signal, like, literally here. We up like almost. If it hits TP, it will be 17%. So I did like a low leverage, like a 5x leverage on this one. I did close my 30x leverage because it was like super aggressive. So I've just got a 5x leverage running on this one. It's a 50% move times 5, so 250% if it does obviously play out. I don't like guarantee it's going to hit all the TPs, but this is something you want to be looking to take profit at these highs, right? And this is also a shorting opportunity for XRP, for like a scalp. So I will be looking at that for today. But yeah, it was a beautiful trade. We did actually catch the daily breakouts. This was a sideways action of 220 days, right? So like literally 219, 220 doesn't really matter, but literally going sideways, chopping around for 220 days, right? Obviously this breakout is going to be massive, right? Because the longer we consolidate, what happens, the bigger the breakout, right? What's happening, everyone in the comments? Hope everyone's doing well. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, guys. I appreciate everyone for being here. I'm gonna be locked in with these lives, guys. So we're gonna go live every. I'm gonna do London Open, because that's actually my favorite time to trade. I prefer trading London Open to New York, because when I used to trade forex, I've always just managed to catch that volatility better than New York volatility. And also I was also around the world, and I couldn't really trade New York. London session was always like the session for me. So I will be doing that next week. Make sure, I guess, like, some people might not be able to join, but the thing is, like, I want to do these live streams and we actually take trades in the lives, right? So that's my biggest thing, right? like I wanna take the trade in the live stream and then tell you exactly why I'm taking the trade, and that's my goal out of these live streams, because it's all about education. Like that's the end goal, right? So yeah, XRP trade absolutely ripped. But before we jump into other altcoins, guys, we have to look at USDT dominance. I think a lot of people neglect this, but okay. So USDT dominance, guys. Do you guys remember when we broke this upward sloping trend? I remember we took that Solana long the other day, and that was based on USDT dominance actually breaking this upward sloping trend line, right? So, but right now you just have to be careful, right? Because look how strong this level is for USDT dominance, right? We have multiple rejections, guys. These are daily rejections as well. Actually, yeah, it's literally daily rejections, right? So we have multiple days of just getting rejected, bouncing from this level, flipping from resistance into support, like multiple bounces from the zone. So do I think we're just going to clear this level right now? I don't, honestly. I honestly don't think we're going to clear it right now. Like, the market's pumped so hard right now. We need a retracement. I don't know when it's going to be, but it could be very, very soon, because USDT dominance is at one of the biggest levels that we've seen in a while, right? Obviously, this was a key level at the top of here, but this is a strong level for USDT dominance. So we can't neglect this level, right? So am I going to be looking at longs right now for any coins? Definitely not, right? For me, I need USDT dominance to actually break the support, right? I need price to actually close below this level. You know what I mean? Because I don't think we're going to break through it today. It doesn't make sense. Especially when we haven't even tested since, when was this, right? 23rd of May, right? So this is the first time we're testing the support, right? So the probability of us bouncing from here is more likely, right? It's just basic, like, market structure. So just be careful. I mean, obviously scalp longing and scalp shorting are right. But in terms of swing longing right now, I would want to see, price break support. Does that make sense? We all know that USDT dominance is basically the inverse to what happens in crypto. Just think about it, right? When people are moving their USDT into crypto, USDT dominance will go down, because based on the market cap, there will be less USDT, right? So it's just capital rotation, right? So in terms of trades today, I'm actually looking for shorts. I'll be honest with. I know it's a bit tough because the market's super bullish, and we shouldn't really be looking for shorts in a bullish trend. But when USDT dominance is at this level, I'm going to look for like a short-term scalp, right? When all these coins like XRP, we could even look for a scalp if we get there today, right? Like, this is what I'm actually looking at. So I'm just going to remove the, hold on one second, yeah. Alright, so what I'm actually going to look for, right, is if we look at the 1 hour time frame. Let's go straight to the 1 hour. Have a look at this, right? So we have multiple wicks literally at this level, and I'm expecting price to take out this high. So what I want to see is price take out these highs over here, and then we actually close back in the range, right? If that can happen, right? So we push up, break this high, close back below the range, then we look for sells like back down to like key levels. We'll obviously look at, right? So if we go back to current price, you can see right now, I mean, it's kind of ripping. It's looking like we most probably going to get there, right? Could we take a long right now? Definitely not, right? But something to note is what I would be waiting for is a bit of a liquidity sweep to the upside, takes out this high, and then we look for a sell back down to like the support, right? I'm not going to be holding these trades for long, guys. Just bear that in mind. Like these trades, like if we do get a scalp short today, it's going to be a short trade, because the market's super bullish right now. Total 3, we'll go over Total 3 after this, but Total 3 confirmed daily breakout, not a fake out. So I know that the problem is like a lot of influencers are calling, we're going to go parabolic, all this stuff. And I mean, it could be true, right? Who knows? But we trading, right? We not, we actually we scalping. So we don't actually have to worry about that, if you know what I mean, right? Because we can catch the move up and down. So I don't really worry about like my my Twitter in terms of, when people are saying all this stuff, right? I kind of just put it on hold because there's so many opinions out there. The best opinions are obviously like our community, but in terms of like, you'll just get some random comments, right? And then it'll make you just think in your head, unless there's like actual data being backed by like what someone said. That's kind of when I get involved. But anyway, getting into a bit of a tangent there. What I'm actually looking at is I'm just looking for potential sells at this level. I'll be honest with you. And we've gone over. We're looking for liquidity sweep and then price coming back into the range. So very, very simple setup for XRP. Hopefully we can get that today. I'm going to put an alert right over there, just so you guys can obviously post a signal. I don't think we'll get there in this live stream, but yeah, I think throughout the day we'll definitely get signals there. Hopefully it's a Friday. Fridays are normally like one of my best days for trading, just historically based on like my data. Like over the couple of years, it's always been like one of my favorite days. But yeah, the problem is we had such a big move last night, and it's very, very frustrating. But it's fine, we move on, right? So before I jump into some other altcoins that I'm looking at, we can't neglect like how bullish this chart is looking. Like, have a look at how bullish this chart is, guys. Like total 3 is absolutely ripping. So honestly, like looking at this, I do think that we're probably gonna get to like 950. But there's also, you have to bear in mind that we do have resistance literally here as well, right? So we could even get retracements back down to like the value area high. We did get that massive breakout that we've been speaking about in the channel. So you just have to be careful. There's quite a lot of zones here. So to be precise, I would probably just look at like these highs over here, right over here. So we could probably just look at, here we go, like 930. So we've got around about like 12 more billion. If we take out those highs, I don't think we pump straight through here. Like unless we have like massive amount of volume, it's just not possible. Like it's the weekend tomorrow, right? Like there's not going to be much volatility. And like pumping on a Friday, we're probably just going to range, right? And then maybe Sunday nights. So what tends to happen is like when we get a pump on a Thursday, I don't know if this is true, like based on historical, but what I've seen over the past like couple years is when we pump going into the weekend, we normally see Saturday and Sunday morning kind of just consolidate and just range, and then Sunday we get those breakouts or those breakdowns, right? So Sunday night will be interesting, but Saturday's pretty much it's a day to take a rest from the charts because you don't want to lock in on a Saturday. You have to take some time off. But honestly, guys, if total 3 can close bullish above like all of these highs over here, literally, if we can close bullish above like 930 or like 933 above these highs, we do have targets at these highs over here, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, one step at a time, right? I don't want to be that's like, oh, we're so bullish, guys, we're going long. And it just doesn't make sense right now. We're at resistance, guys. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are, like all of you guys are in crypto, right? So like, even my dad messaged me this morning. So like as I woke up this morning, he messaged me like Bitcoin's operating. And I was like, it's just crazy like how retail is just getting back. My dad, I did build a portfolio for him, but like he's not really like a tech savvy guy. So it's quite interesting to see like retail coming back. Even a few of my mates, like last night, I saw some mates and they were literally like, oh, Bitcoin's pumping. Like it just shows you like this could be a retail move, right? So I think there could be a massive like a liquidation, like stop loss hunt, and we just wreck like retail, right? That's a possibility. You know what I mean? That's how the markets move, right? Retail normally, like especially like retail in terms of like they don't know what they're doing, right? They just hear something and then they buy, right? I'm not talking about trading like us traders. I'm talking about people that don't really understand the market, right? Whereas we do. Those people are gonna get wrecked because, and I feel bad. It's not like a nice thing to say, but it's the reality of the market, right? The market is there to destroy you. that's based on a fact. It's just how you maneuver around it, right? And that's why I prefer scalp trading, because for me, like, think about it, right? The longer you stay in the markets, the more opportunity that you're going to get wrecked, right? In terms of trading, like, so that's why I've always stuck to scalping instead of swing trading, because I want to be out of the market as quick as possible. You know what I mean? We want to make our profit and run, right? That's the whole point. We don't want to be sitting in a trade for like, I mean, unless we like really bullish, and then we hold like, and our stop loss is at break even, right? So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you always protect your capital, but in terms of scalp trading, you wanna actually get out relatively quickly and protect your position. And I think that's why, like, our community, and Andy and Devo's community, sorry, is just amazing, because the scalp setups, the nice thing is we either right or we wrong, and we know very quickly. You know what I mean? Whereas a swing trade, you can be wrong, and then you're sitting in drawdown for like multiple days. You know what I mean? Which is like, it just doesn't make sense in my head, and I've just never really come to that. But scalp trading for us is definitely the way. Most of the people hate Mondays. I'm kind of I'll go through the comments just now, but I appreciate everyone for watching. We'll definitely jump into the comments, but I hope that makes sense. Like, the whole point of trading is you want to get out as quick as possible. Like, that's my theory, right? Because the market's literally there to rinse you. But yeah, sometimes I do go in a bit of a tangent, like, so bear with me sometimes. I do kind of just, whatever I'm thinking, I kind of just go into it. So let's have a look at Ethereum quickly, guys. So ETH, finally ETH's actually getting a breakout. Like, I mean, we've been waiting, I don't know how many days, right? Yeah, this whole sideways chop, and then that liquidation sweep, liquidity sweep to the downside over here, and then pumping back bullish. But I mean, we were waiting for a couple days, right? I mean, what was that for the breakout to happen? 58 days. That's like 2 months. So anyway, Ethereum is pumping, right? And right now we are pumping into a bearish fair value gap. So basically, guys, I mean, don't have to learn fair value gaps. It's basically when there's a gap in the market. So like, I'll show you here. There's a gap in the market in terms of over here. So you wanna take from the first candle bottom wick to the third candle top wick, and this gap, basically it means that a lot of sellers' orders that were trying to sell at that price, or had limit orders there, they didn't get filled, right? So what tends to happen is we fill these gaps, and we either break past them if we have a lot of buying control or selling control, depending on the market, or we get rejected, right? And I am potentially looking at a rejection from this level for ETH. Obviously, we're super bullish, but what I want to see is this is the daily time frame, right? So like, we are looking at a little bit of a higher time frame bias here, but if Ethereum does close above this level here at 311, 311 tomorrow, right? If we do close tomorrow, then I do think we're going to take out that value area high, and then that's pretty much your shorting opportunity for Ethereum. So like 400. But if we close just above this level tomorrow, then I'm probably gonna go long for Ethereum, because getting a daily close above this level here, it's a good sign, because essentially we're taking out like all of these highs over here. We're taking out all of these highs. We've already taken out those highs. So the next key level is gonna be these highs over here. You know what I mean? So I want to see price obviously close above this level first, and then longs can be valid, right? And yeah, I'm just taking it slow right now, because in terms of trading, it's right now, I mean, if you didn't get those longs yesterday, it's just pointless going long right now, unless we get like a breakout or something like that. But I'm just so skeptical because of USDT dominance, right? So like, I don't want to go long when USDT dominance is at support, right? You know what I mean? Because if this thing just pumps, then we could dump, right? And we at a strong ass support, right? I mean, we all know that this support is like super strong. So I'm not saying that it can't break through this level, but I'm saying that there's a possibility of price getting a bounce here. So just be careful of that. Okay, so just be wary. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I missed it, but trading, the nice thing about trading is you don't really miss much, right? Because there's always opportunities at the end of the day, right? So have a look at that. XRP kind of just ripped there. Okay. Nothing really to do here. I'm waiting for price to take out that high, right? But yeah, we are getting a pump into that level. So we've analyzed what we're looking for here. I want to see price break this high. Why is it this high? Because we have these wicks to the left. Let me actually go in the 15 minutes here, because otherwise it's going to take a day. Here we go. So these are the highs that I'm looking at. So just for reference sake, so I want to see price take out these highs, potentially close bearish, and then look for sells. But that's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a short-term trade, and then I'll be looking just to take sells back down to like 2.56, and then you could even look to long this area again. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the game plan for XRP. What is the game plan for everything else? Let's have a look. Kronos. Have a look at Kronos here. I was looking at this. This was actually the flag yesterday. It had the breakout already. I'm not convinced though. The problem is this move is so explosive, right? And then we did obviously get a sideways chop. But for continuation's sake, we actually are forming a bit of a W pattern over here, which is something to look at. Let's go in the 15-minute time frame quickly. Yeah, so what I would want to see here is, firstly, so you can see how price is still making higher highs over here, but price is pretty much respecting these highs over here, right? And we kind of just ranging right now, right? So we kind of just chopping like this. So I just want to see a breakout of that high, and that's also going to break these highs over here, and break these highs. So this pattern does play out quite often. It's like a W pattern, so basically it's pretty much a double bottom, and then you wait for a breakout retest kind of thing. So I will look at this, because we obviously did get that breakout of this triangle pattern, and I guess if you do the measured move, this was, I don't know what this move was from, but the measured move of this is kind of insane. So yeah, you'll probably look to take profit at like these levels here, like 0.1092, which is actually, if we actually look at it, yeah, this is your previous high. Okay. Oh wait, my screen just froze. There we go. So you want to be looking to take profit at these highs. Okay. So I'll definitely let you know when I take this trade. It's definitely going to be a scalp trade, but I need to see a breakout. Like it is forming something super juicy over here. So let's have a look at that. So I'd wait for that, right? I want to see price get above there first. So for me it's just not valid yet, because the problem is, like, I'm all about candles closing. Like, that's my thing, right? If a candle doesn't close like above a certain level, I'm not going to go long. Like, it just doesn't make sense, because the problem is, like, when you get like a bullish candle, right, you can have price pumping up, right? You can have price pumping up, but think about it. If we get a bullish candle like this, the next candle we could easily, sorry, I don't know, it keeps freezing for some reason. So what I'm saying is, okay, we're back. What I'm saying is, let's just say you get a bullish candle going up, right? Okay, the next candle is most probably, more than not, going to come down first, right? And then we flip bullish, right? So I always wait for like a bottom wick, because price, in order for price to continue higher, we need to see like liquidity being grabbed in order for price to go higher, right? We need orders to be filled. It just makes sense, right? Otherwise, we're not going to break through certain levels if we don't have that much volume going into these levels. So that's why I always wait for candle closes. I never just jump in on a wick. Like, for me, that's a no, right? I always wait. So like for this, we need to wait for the candle to close above here, and then we jump into the long, right? Because if this is a fake out, we'll know, but that is the only setup that you can really look at here, because we literally at a key level here. I mean, you can long over here, but it just, I mean, that's a 50-50 shot. Like, you're guessing, right? Whereas we know that, okay, you know, you're breaking this level over here. On the 15-minute time frame, you are forming a potential double bottom, and if we do break out of this channel, you're also breaking these highs. So there is a potential of us claiming the highs that was set, you know, 31st of May, right? So I hope that makes sense. So we're gonna put an alert there for Kronos, right? So that's the other token that I'm looking at today, because Kronos looks like it could pump. I mean, if it pumps like this, it's like we could be in a good trade today. But yeah, like I said, it's all about patience, waiting for these setups to align, and yeah, you don't want to just jump in based on, I mean, just based on this. It just doesn't make sense, right? You want to wait for these candles to close. So yeah, I've been trying to sell Ethereum for months. I'm over it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Ethereum like needs to operate, because literally, I've been in ETH for, I don't know, like, I hate holding this coin. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, this is one of those grudge buys. You know, like when you go to those shops and like you have to buy like a new microwave or something, or like a new fridge. You know, ETH is one of those. Like, it's one of those coins. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really have that much. I don't really like Ethereum. You know, I don't really think it's a good coin. I mean, you're paying so much gas fees to move, you know, your money from one exchange to another. Even like, just like basic transaction fees. Like, it's so expensive. Like, what's the point of Ethereum? I honestly don't like it, but it's one of those coins you kind of have to have. It's the second largest cap. So like, but yeah, for me, it's like a massive grudge buy. So like, it's literally buying a new fridge for me. So, but yeah, I'll let you know if I do get an entry here. But I mean, Ethereum's kind of still $3,000. It's like, I mean, Ethereum last year was like literally almost 4K. So it's, I mean, and then also in 2022, I mean, Ethereum's done absolutely nothing. It's for me, it's a bit of a garbage token. But I mean, I think that's controversial. So, but I think for me, like, I kind of have to hold it. Like, I'm not gonna not hold it. You know what I mean? I just don't like buying it. But yeah, that's something that I just wanted to touch on. What else can we look at here? Do you guys have some suggestions? Let's actually have a look at some suggestions. So we've got Froze USDT. We've got, yeah, guys, put some suggestions. We're gonna go over a lot of tokens. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of time here, guys. So we've got Froze USDT. Let's jump into that. I will go over some other ones. Yeah, I genuinely I literally hate Ethereum. Is this it? Yeah, we'll go over Dogecoin. Froze. Sweet. Can we look at ICP? Yeah, sure. We'll go over Doge. I'll come back to Froze because I can't seem to find it. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's that. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. And then we'll go over Sui, and then we'll go over ICP and then Turbo as well. Yeah, just put your coins down below. We'll go over all of them, guys. We've got some time here. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Where is Dogecoin? Did I not click on it? Let's have a look. Fuel. Oh, maybe it was fuel. Not too sure. Well, I'll go over that as well. I think Froze was a joke. My bad. Oh, I check. My bad. I did not get that, I'll be honest. But okay, Dogecoin looking not bad. Alright, I'm just gonna redraw everything here. We're gonna do a top-down analysis here on Dogecoin, right? So first of all, Dogecoin holding support over here, which is obviously massive. Very, very, very strong level here we have for Dogecoin. You can see in the past this level has been holding ground for weeks. This is the weekly time frame, guys. So Dogecoin honestly right now holding the support and looking bullish on this weekly is looking good. You can see that price is still holding above this level. So the weekly time frame, we know, okay, Dogecoin we're expecting price to bounce from this level, and that's exactly what we got. Okay, so what I would be looking at here is, okay, well, on the weekly, we do have to clear this level here. This is a bearish gap that I'd probably be waiting for to get filled. So let me just highlight this so you guys can see it. So basically, you want to take it from the top of the first bearish candle, the bottom of the first bearish candle, and then the top of the third bearish candle. Okay, and that's going to be your gap. And if you do like extend these things to the right hand side and to the left hand side, you'll see they do get respected. I don't trade like fair value gaps in terms of like, I sometimes get them for entries, but it has to like align with what's happening, right? I don't just trade fair value gaps. I just use them for like areas of resistance, right? It's basically just resistance and support, right? There's a whole bunch of names, ICT concepts, like trading. The problem with trading is like people don't keep it simple, and I think that's the problem. So in terms of Dogecoin, let's have a look at the daily time frame, because we this is a bearish gap over here. So daily time frame, we can see, okay, it's same exact level. So Dogecoin running in, the problem is right now Dogecoin's literally at a key support, key resistance. So we are literally trading respecting this gap right now. This is also a daily bearish gap. So honestly, I need to see Dogecoin above this level for like bullish continuation, right? The problem is longing into these gaps over here is super risky. Like, you don't understand, right? Because we can definitely break through this gap with the amount of market, the amount of bullish pressure in the market right now. But like I said, USDT dominance is sketching me out a little bit in terms of like what's happening in the market. So what I want to see here is, I want to see price break above here, and then we look for the longs to claim the highs. Until then, I'm not going to take the trade, right? But this is the daily time frame. But that's going to be something to look at, right? Because if we get a daily break above these levels, then it makes our life so much easier, right? Think about it, right? We're getting higher time frame closes above like really, really strong levels, right? So for us to take scalps on the lower time frames with the high time frame bias, it just makes perfect sense, right? So that's kind of what you kind of have to think about. Let's have a look over here. So what are we looking at? On the 4-hour time frame, there's nothing really you can do here. I'll probably wait for a retracement into some key levels here. So let's have a look at the 1 hour quickly. But I wouldn't long right now. I'd probably long a little bit lower, right? So I would probably wait for price to come back down to, let's have a look here. Yeah, so we have this level here. So have a look here. Okay, so this is going to be my level. The reason why I've chosen this level is because of the fact that we have multiple reactions within the zone. We broke down, look how many times we reacted at the zone. We broke above, then we came down, reacted again, and then price was just trading choppy. And then what actually happened is we grabbed liquidity, and then it was a bit of a fake out, came back down, and then we started closing back above. So this is a key level for Dogecoin. So for longs, this is where I'd long, right? This is my setup for a long position, right? I'd wait for price to come down from this level, and then I'd long. First TP would be like this high over here, and then your next TP would be at the top of the gap over there, right? And then your stop loss would just be below these lows, because if we start breaking below there, then it's just not valid, right? So you have quite a nice risk to reward, and you won't even have to use that much leverage on this trade, right? Because you're going for quite a high percentage. But let's have a look at the 15. We could even capitalize on sells there. Like I'm honestly looking at sells there. But if this rolls over, like generally, but what I want to see is, the problem is we have to start breaking lows, right? So trend lines are cool and stuff, but like if we get a bullish trend, right? If we get a bullish trend, and we're holding these levels, what needs to happen for this trend to be broken? Right, we can break trend, but if we still respect this low, right? Think about it, right? If we break trend, but we still respect this previous low, that bullish trend is still going to potentially go higher, right? It just, you know what I mean? So trend lines, you have to note with trend lines is structure needs to break as well. It's not just the trend, it's the structure. I think that's a lot of misconception, because you could have a bullish trend, like price is looking good, but we have this low over here. I need to see price break that low first, and then we retrace into these zones, and then we look for the sells. Does that make sense? I can't take it just based on this trend over here. Although it could roll over, there's a high probability that we, because we're in a bullish structure, you have to wait for structure to break. You know what I mean? You can't just take it based on that. So that's exactly what I'm going to wait for today. Potential sells. I mean, you could even look for a sell here at this gap, but yeah, it's not something that I do. I wait for structure to break. So I'm gonna wait for something like this, right? Stop loss above this high over here, TP there, a nice decent risk to reward, and then we're gonna look for those longs a little bit later, right? But what I want to see is I want to see price break this low over here. I don't think we're just gonna run down straight away. What tends to happen is we're going to break this low, and then we can potentially retrace into like something over here where a potential, you can even pull the Fibonacci, right, from this high to wherever this low is, and then you can short the golden pocket, right? And then you can even see we have our extended targets here. You know what I mean? So you can kind of, but structure has to break. Like, you can't just take it based on the trend line. I hope that makes sense. So, yeah. That's something I'm waiting for. Right, so Dogecoin looking juicy for potential sells. Gonna put an alert there as well. Alright. So what other tokens do we got? We've got SWI, we've got ICP Turbo, Fuel, Liquor. I'll go over all of those. Let's have a look at SWI. You're so cold in Cape Town today. It's actually crazy. This place, I want to go back to Durban. Alright. I just searched Dogecoin. Let's go over SWI. Here we go. Alright. Let's have a look at SWI here. Something happened there. XRP. Oh, okay. Wait, let's have a look at XRP quickly. Oh, not really yet. We need to see the sweep of the highs. My bad. But I'm definitely watching that. So let's have a look at. Yeah, this is our analysis. This was the analysis the other day, right? Was this on the weekly or the daily? I don't know why the trend line's a bit drawn wrong. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So basically, guys, same setup here. I mean, the problem is, like, for SWI, I remember this broke out, and I was waiting for price to actually come down and create a bottom wick. But sometimes, we don't get that, and we just see a massive explosion candle, like, which is it's something that we can't really control. I prefer to wait for bottom wicks before we get in. But I mean, when there's bullish pressure in the market, sometimes you won't get that, right? But essentially, guys, we have this high over here. I'm looking to look for a short here as well, and basically we can potentially look to short back into this level here. Okay, so we've taken out this bearish gap over here. It was actually support, guys. These gaps are just support and resistance. Okay, just think about it like that. Everything just comes down to support and resistance at the end of the day. In terms of like most things, I'm not saying that, like, but like a lot of sayings that ICT and all these other like people use, they're actually just saying support and resistance, just in like a technical term. It's actually crazy. Like, it's crazy how many names there are out there. But yeah, looking at potentially coming back down here for SWI. I mean, that was a beautiful breakout over here. I mean, we could have actually longed on the 4 hour, I guess, but yeah, that daily breakout would have been nice to get a bottom wick, right? But I mean, you can't win them all, I guess. So same thing with I think the same thing here with Dogecoin, right? It was similar. Oh no, it's not. What I want to see here is, the problem is we did break this low over here. I want to see price start breaking this previous low here, and then what we can target is like this low over here for a potential sell. Okay, so maybe get a pump into this level. If price breaks below here, then we look for sells back down to here, and then if price actually comes lower, we can look for longs on the breakout of like this liquidity grab or whatever it's going to be, right? So what you'll see is the market like tends to move like that, right? So like if we look over here, like right over here, right, price broke up and then price came down, took out these lows, right? And then what you want to wait for is you want to wait for price to break these highs. Exactly. So like this is your manipulation over here, and then what you want to wait for is price to break above the high, and then you look for those longs. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the similar way of what I'm looking at for right now. Okay. So that's sweet. I'll let you know obviously if I jump into that, but I don't know if we're gonna get setups there. I hope we do. I'll be honest. What else we were looking at? The sound is really low. Okay, let me try make it. Let me try make it better. Let's try make. Is that better? Let me know. I think what I'm gonna do is this weekend I'm gonna literally buy like a whole new setup because, yeah. Let me know if that's better though. Let me know if that's better. All right, we're gonna look at what are we looking at next? ICP. Then we got Turbo. All right, let's have a look at ICP. Actually, honestly, I haven't looked at ICP in I don't know how long. I don't know why, but I used to love this token, but there's so much controversial around this token. You know, some people saying it's a scam token, but I don't think so. I think it's a good token. All right, let's have a look at ICP. I don't even know when I drew these levels. Maybe we just start a scratch. Let's just yeah. I can't remember when I drew those, but ICP bottomed out 100%. I think that ICP has definitely bottomed out over here. You know, this is the weekly time frame, guys, and closing multiple weekly candles respecting this previous low is crazy, right? It means that we're obviously not going to go lower here, right? It means that this is the potential low. But I can already see something over here. Potentially on the daily time frame, we could get a breakout. So let's have a look at the daily here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Let me know if this sounds better. I did put it up. Is it still really low? Eh? Is the sound still really low? I hope it's okay, right. I did try to put it up, but yeah, this is what I would wait for, right? So right now, price is kind of just trading right over here. You could actually, I would probably just extend it to there, right? This is something to watch out for in terms of the daily time frame. And then what we have to watch out for is we have this gap over here that needs to obviously get broken right over here. So this would be like for spot positions. I think entering like now, like for me is not bad. It's not bad because you know spot for me is you just hold, right? But for leverage trades, in terms of like next week, but we could even get a long or something today. But in terms of like waiting for like these daily candles to close, I want to see price get above this level. Okay, you know, this is multiple rejections over here. Once we start breaking out there, we're definitely going to probably take out these highs over here, right? There's a high probability of that. But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is, right? You can't really take the trade now. It just doesn't make sense. So let's have a look at the 4 hour time frame. So this is on the daily time frame. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Let's have a look over here. Ooh, I see what's happening over here. So, yeah, I mean, there was your breakout. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. Literally. So this was your range. I mean, I should have been looking at ICP. I don't know why I didn't. But have a look at that. I mean, that was your breakout, right? It was super juicy, right? Price was trading, holding the zone. Price was getting rejected multiple times. And then what actually happened is we actually started to form a little bit of a round bottom over here. This is like a W, literally like a W pattern. Get the breakout, retest, bang. And that's the exact setup that we're looking at for that other token. I can't remember which one it was, but we'll go through them later as well. But this is the exact same setup, right? It's just a different token. So ICP, let's actually keep that in. It's a very nice horizontal. So let's have a look here. I mean, right now we are coming into quite a key resistance over here. yeah, there's just, I don't know, guys. There's just too much pointing at retracements right now. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of things pointing at a retracement. I don't like shorting in the market like this, like when we're so bullish, but you know, the whole thing about trading is looking at all these different variables, right? And yeah, so honestly, I do wanna see, because you can see right now this couldn't even break the highs, right? Have a look at that, right? That's interesting, right? So this was the high, then we actually manipulated this low over here. We broke this low, and now we're starting to start to form potentially bearish structure, right? Maybe, right? We don't know yet, right? We have to break this low to find out, but that's very interesting to look at for ICP. But I think for long positions, I'd probably look at something like this, right? Where's right over here? This is where I'd be looking to long. So for shorting, I'd look to short into this zone, and then I'd be looking to potentially long into from that zone. Okay. Does that make sense? Can you look at Floki? Thank you. Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's that. Let's have a look at Turbo. That was the next one. Let's have a look at Turbo. Right, Turbo. Turbo. Actually, I have Turbo. Yeah. I did something on Turbo. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I was trying to short. Yeah, that was the other day. That was long ago. I think we capitalized on that like a couple of months ago, or like a couple of weeks ago. But let's have a look at Turbo quickly, and then I'll look at Floki and Cardano as well, and then we'll call it a stream. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for joining. It's been actually quite a nice stream, and the sun's actually starting to come out now, which is a lot better because, I mean, it's been raining the whole day and it's been super cold. All right, so let's have a look at Turbo. Right now Turbo is pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's quite an easy chart to chart here. So we're just gonna say here's our support over here. Yeah, all right. And our resistance is right over here. Okay, so pretty much this is what you wanna see for Turbo, right? Turbo right now is at resistance, right? What does that mean? Resistance is a level where a lot of people potentially are trying to short the market, and there might be a bit of a battle between buyers and sellers in this level, right? A lot of people are going to try to break this, push this breakout over here. But for me, it's all about the candle to close, right? You want to wait for prices to close above this level, break these levels here, get a bullish close, and then we look for longs back up to the highs. Okay, so Turbo, relatively easy. Actually, glad we looked at this. Gonna put an alert within this box over here, just so we can capitalize on that tomorrow or whenever we do get that close, right? So I think having alerts on your charts is massive, because you like generally, like you can miss so much in a day, like generally. What else do we have? Put some more charts, guys. I'm gonna stream for the next like 20 minutes or so, or like 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll stream it for the next 7 minutes. Or yeah. So if you guys have a few more charts, we'll do a bit of a front run. Not a front run, a speed run. Sorry. What else we got? We've got Cardano. Yeah, that was the next one. Or Fuel. Fuel. Yo, Tao. Oh my god, Tao absolutely ripped. It's crazy. Fuel. Yeah, Fuel. It is. I know the feeling, guys. I've been through this feeling so many times. I kind of just get numb to it, right? When the market pumps like this, you just get that FOMO feeling, right? You see like all these coins just absolutely ripping. But I mean, this is not even that hectic, right? 15%. Do you guys remember like when, I think it was it last year? I can't remember the past 2 years, but we had 30 to 60 to 70% gains in a day, right? So this is nothing compared to that. Yeah. So let's get back to fuel. I actually don't know what this token is, but let's get back and we'll see what exactly is happening here. All right. So fuel. I mean, fuel kind of had a breakout. It's kind of still bearish though. We literally broke this low over here. This is, for me, this is still bearish structure for fuel. Literally breaking this low, forming lower highs, lower lows. There's nothing bullish about this actually. I don't know what this token is, but I wouldn't suggest looking too long right now. But let's go in the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, there's just nothing really here. I don't really know what this is, but yeah, I'd potentially, we have to go to the 1 hour actually, because we've already retraced over there. So yeah, I'd probably look for price to break a potential trend over here. So essentially what I'd wait for is something like this, right? Yo, the sun's actually beautiful right now. It's making me feel a lot better. This rain I hate rain. But essentially, yeah, what I'll wait for here is fuel. Potentially we can just get a trend line breakdown over here, but I don't know. I don't really like to look at this. I'll definitely be looking to short this more than longing it right now, unless we do break above here. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. Maybe we can see something on the 15. No, the problem is, we're at resistance right now. So we add a 15 minutes resistance / support. You can see how multiple reactions within this zone. Yeah, I mean, if we do break below support over here, you could look to shorts, but the problem is we have this upward sloping trend as well. But this is very, very weak structure. I wouldn't really look to long this token today at all. Although the market's bullish, but fuel is just looking absolutely bearish. So yeah, I hope that's gives you a bit of light into whatever that token is. So let's have a look what else we got. Is it too quiet? I don't know why it's so quiet. I think I need to shout more or something, or just get a new microphone. I'll get a new mic this weekend. And then let's have a look at ADA, and then we'll call it a stream. Okay. Let's have a look at ADA. Cardano actually, I think it ran quite hard. Alright, let's my monitor just keeps disconnecting for some reason. Alright, there we go, we're back. Let's have a look at Cardano, yeah. But yeah, guys, just watch out. Before I leave, I want to quickly go back to USDT dominance to just reiterate to you guys how important looking at USDT dominance is. Let's have a look at Cardano quickly. What is actually happening here for Cardano? Yeah, I mean, Cardano has been super bullish here. Alright, let's have a look at this. I mean, so Cardano right now, obviously we had that breakout, we formed that double bottom over there. That was your entry, I guess. But, we're running into a huge resistance level here, guys. Absolutely massive resistance level here. I'll show you right now exactly what I'm looking at. So basically, when you're looking at charting like this, right, you want to see where these levels are, and you want to draw them on your chart. Like, I know you guys, most of you guys are like Elliott wave theory gods, but it's just a different trading style, right? It doesn't mean I'm wrong or Andy and Devil's right or they're wrong, or we just have different. There's so many people that have different trading styles in the market, and I think that's the beauty of trading, right? Everyone has their own niche, right? But yeah, Cardano is running into a key resistance right over here, super strong level, right? Can we break through it? Possibly, right? But then again, guys, these pumps that we're getting right now in the market, they're gonna get retraced somewhere. I mean, just look at USDT dominance. When in doubt, pull out this chart and be like, okay, draw your levels. So I want to leave you guys with you looking at USDT dominance, and I'm letting you know that this potentially could mark a potential potential top of this pump. So today I will be looking at shorts. So yeah, make sure if you guys are new to the channel, I will be going live every single week for 2 times a week, and I will be streaming London session, whereas we'll stream the open, which means we can potentially get some trades in the stream. And yeah, I appreciate everyone for joining. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I do appreciate all of you guys for joining, and thanks for all the comments. And I'll see you guys next week. And I'm leaving you guys off with USDT dominance here to, think about what potentially, if this could be the top, right? So, cheers there. I'll see you guys on the Discord and the Telegram. And yeah, make sure you guys join the Telegram and the Discord. The links are in the description for you to join. We literally trade every day. Some days we don't trade. Some days we trade a lot, right? And it depends on the market. But join, and I'll check you guys next week. Peace out. Bye bye.